Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna start now because otherwise it'll be here for fucking yonks. They can always join later if they want to. Anyway, I do want to start with Busan.
Streaming too?
Now traveling to Busan, ready for battle.
No, I'm not streaming. I'm just recording. Right. So this map in particular.
Oh, this was awful. Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
This was really bad.
Yeah, I know, but this is there's some really good points to take, good takeaways from this map in particular.
One. Round one.
And just before we start, actually, I want to flex that I can draw. But no. So the first thing that's worth mentioning is the comps.
I don't think.
I think Nelson's changing right now to McCree.
No, he stayed on the... Oh no, he swapped it later on, but... no, we shouldn't have been running the Anna Zen. We should have been running probably, like, something else Zen.
So, Zen...
We could have been running it the other way around, like Spartan could have gone Brig, me could have gone Zen. Like, it's not a bad shout.
Yeah, so Spartan, Zen plus Anna is no good.
And you gotta, I mean, yeah, we should have, and realistically, we should have gone for Sigma something. Sigma Hog, probably. I'm looking back now.
Yeah, but in hindsight's another thing. Like, this tank line is fine, right? This is a strong...
Yeah.
This is a strong tank line, but against this team, less so, right?
I think we need to just, like, get, like, a six, like, kind of, like, set of core people that we... Like, a six, like, people we always play. Like, kind of like... Okay, so whenever... We always take a Sigma, we always take this, we always take that, we always take that. Like, just... One, like, core set.
Yeah, we have...
Like,
we need to build cool comps.
Like, one core... We have, like, one core comp that we always pick, like, as the default. And then when it comes to, like, a very specific map, maybe we play, like, we branch out, like, one or two here and there.
You already have, like, your brawl comp, right? That you use...
I don't know what that is, though. That's the point. What is the brawl comp?
You played it perfectly on King's Row. I mean, like,
yeah. I was just watching the first part of that clip, by the way. The Sombra was literally, like, just so greedy how she was playing. Like, she didn't shoot a single bullet at all. All she was doing was holding out, like, hack on the shield. That's all she was doing.
Yeah. That's all that she had to do. But anyway, later on you do switch this into Brig.
I think we do, yeah. We still got roll big time.
I think it was Brigana. I think we went to in the end.
It was this Supreme. I think he swaps the Tracer after the Sims. Wait, swapped this. Did they do that? Right?
This becomes Tracer after spawn.
Just like watch the spawn. I want to see how did he actually just.
Yeah, normally you run.
They went on right. They went right.
You run a little bit further forward and then place the TP, and then you can place the TP, run back, and by the time you've run back to spawn, everyone else has gone through it, and then you can switch the Tracer. Okay. So that's how. I mean, like
they were a good DPS duo.
This. I mean, the whole team was good, right? They were just coordinated.
Yeah,
they were just well coordinated, and
yeah, it's just like the way how he played ball was obnoxious. He got so much value.
Yeah, but that's actually something I wanted to bring up later on as well. Anyway, so
yeah,
so
let's play this then. Yeah.
So the biggest problem we have is our comp here is just questionable at best. Like, you've got these high DPS tanks, but you haven't got a Lucio to get them to where they need to be to do that damage. Same with, like, we have this this Reaper as well, but you got a lot of upfront damage here.
Yeah.
With the Hanzo, so I think maybe like a McCree would have worked much better with this.
Actually, change to McCree when you just get like 2 or 3 seconds on play.
Nah, I swear he swaps later on. I swear, doesn't he?
I know. Maybe later on.
No, he does.
I think for the first fight, at least.
No, he did swap. He did swap straight away. Yeah. I thought he swapped. I thought he swapped after the first fight. Look at how fast he's there, though. What the fuck?
Yes. Okay. Let me just. rub this out. Sorry, that's not a rubber.
But you see how they did on their side, by the way. Just like rewind back. Like that is, I swear, like that was
Ready
way
for
faster than I
battle.
was expecting him to be there. Just press like F3.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so this is how you do it. By the time that you've got back to spawn, everyone's gone through the thing and you can switch. And then you've got obviously got Tracer, which means you can get there.
Two professionals will ask him.
Sigma,
Only,
that
like,
Sigma
one
was
flat
there
wire.
so fast though. That was outrageous.
Yeah, that'll be due to the thing. Alright, and this is gonna be where
You see how like they picked? Oh, look at them both,
The-
the Sombra and the Tracer.
Yeah.
Oh, Spartan.
Oh, and the ball about to jam in.
so you've got
Oh, wait,
Sombra,
oh.
this,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think
Oh, no.
the ball's coming
Oh,
from
no.
here, isn't it?
Oh no.
So this is a
this
common.
is some fucking. This is what they've been doing all game long.
Thi-
It's just, I think.
This is where position really comes into play. If Spartan is nearer the McCree is going to be a really good sort of block.
McCree gets loads of the time. Like he always gets like flank, kind of like pushed as well.
Yeah, but the problem is McCree is really good versus the Tracer. The McCree is very good versus the Sombra, and the McCree is very good versus the
Good.
ball. But the problem is he can't deal with all three at once, which is what's going to happen.
I
here.
don't think anyone could though. With this Tracer's aim, you couldn't, and the Sombra's aim. The Pez guy was. Just play this. I want to see how fast Spartan dies now.
Yeah, so
I mean, the thing is, we are fighting a different fight, while a whole three-man fight is focusing on our
Deleted.
backline.
delete.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Fair,
We didn't saw this comp that fast, so
Yeah.
we realized they come too late. So this is like totally normal, I think, that it went out that bad. But in a normal case, if we would have known what kind of heroes they play, we should have maybe sticked a bit more together, or actually maybe just switched off Zenway earlier, because
I'm gonna put it out there that I think like
not sure though.
first point on first map, no matter what scrim you're playing, no matter what map you're playing, I don't care if it's not the best. I want you to run the brawl comp. You guys know how that works. You've played that.
The Brig Lucio kind of. What was the brawl comp?
The Ryan Zaya, then like I would take a Hanzo McCree or a Hanzo Ash, or probably a Hanzo.
Hanzo's combo. That's it. Yeah.
I'd take the. I mean, yeah, you can switch the Hanzo with a Reaper as well, but I definitely have one hit scan in there, just because you don't know whether you're going to be against a.
Hanzo Reaper.
Sorry.
Oh no, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I mean. So.
Hanzo Reaper, and if they do have the Pharaoh, you swap it. I mean, not every map's a Pharaoh map. Like this is
Yeah.
a kind of questionable Pharaoh map. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but my point is, you start with a comp that the team is very comfortable on and knows
I don't
what
think
they're
anyone
doing.
likes playing McCree. No one likes
Then-
playing Reaper though, but he's so good if you play it right.
Yeah, I mean, he is. No one likes playing Reaper, but he's
That's why I
just
don't
value.
get why. He's one of those. Yeah, he is good value.
It's just value, especially in a brawl comp. But
I
yeah,
played a couple of games with Nos and that the other day. Like when I was on Reaper and Ironfall, and I think I had like 70% kill. I just like walked in a straight line and just started blasting the fucking hog in the Rhine, and they didn't do anything about it.
anyway, so
Hog misses up, yeah. Reaper, I think Reaper's a go-to pick at the moment for us then.
I think that whole brawl comp is a go-to pick, especially on first point, because you don't
Yeah,
know, we don't
Yeah,
unless we know what they're gonna run,
yeah,
right?
that's true.
I mean, after first point, you can take into account that they've run this sort of comp and go, okay,
They like the Tracer, Sombra. They like Sombra.
yeah, but like if brawl against this comp is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
You play as a big clump. The ball can't isolate anyone.
No, that is true.
The Tracer can't isolate anyone. So the only value really you're gonna get is from the Sombra with the hacks, right? And you're gonna force switches from doing it.
I mean, in theory, when Sombra's getting called and you're like a big giant ball with the brawl comp, sometimes you will be able to counter the hack because you call it out and people are kind of focusing because of the sound. I mean, we can't expect this. Maybe in the elo we're
Well,
playing
it
right
seems
now,
like
but
people
it's
people
something
like playing Sombra, don't they?
The objective is
What actually?
Like, look at that guy's aim.
Ah, go on.
I need healing.
Like, it is good aim, yes. Wait, what? That's not even, that's outrageously good aim. Fucking hell. Okay, yeah.
Be right back.
No offense, Proxy, that's a DPS diff.
Healing over here.
Yeah,
That's,
it really was.
that's a DPS diff, like, complete. I mean, there's a tank, that was a tank diff as well, like, all day. Like, that guy on, that Sigma guy was all day, but, like, outplaying me as well.
I mean, I remember playing Anubis, starting with Tracer and instantly swapping off the first kill he made on me, and
Yeah.
the Tracer 1v1. I saw, okay, he had a better advantage because he knew how to abuse this area we played it better than me, but still without having that in mind, he was by far too good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing I want to point out now is because you lost the first fight so decisively, the ult diff is Mungus, like 39 to 12 because you're forced to switch, 100% on trans, only 45.6%. So
Oh, was he? Oh, wait, I know he has trans, because he was he basically just
Yeah,
spammed down the choke.
yeah, it's
was
so
hitting
easy
everyone.
to charge, so easy to charge, right? Then your DPS, I mean, your DPS ult economy is okay. You're actually beating the Tracer, which is impressive. So that's not too bad, but you rely
Is
on
that Sigma on 93 or 8? Oh.
83, and
Fucking
the
hell.
ball is on 38. So
Yeah, I see the ball
And then-
has only done one roll all game, so that makes sense.
at the moment, I mean, he's going to get massive value here. I mean,
Oh yeah, he slams down all of us here and goes up to like 60, I bet. But like before that even happens, like, I'm pretty sure me gets picked off here by like Sombra, and the ball will land on me, and yeah, I can literally see that. I can see the ball now.
me actually survives the Sombra and the ball.
I
Surprising.
didn't even realize. I didn't even notice the
initially.
blue big ball in the bottom right.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to say is that was one of the key points I wanted to pick up from this map is A, comp, and B, scouting. None of you scouted at once. Like, how hard is it for you to just like lob some damage down here, or like Zaya in particular, which is me, like in particular, because you can drop balls down here to just check. Just you gotta know where the ball is. You gotta know where the Sombra is. Like I'd say this like when we're playing the matches, the way you count the Sombra is knowing where she is and calling her out. Right? You can't know where she is unless you sort of try and scout for her. And like splash damage heroes like Zaya are really good for that sort of thing. So this is on me here for not doing that and sort of trying to find the ball or expecting the ball or the Tracer or the Sombra. I know they've got free flanking heroes that we need to know where they're going to be.
Yeah, it's not a you problem. I think almost every one of us don't really focus on spy checking.
Yes, I know. So that's the other point I wanted to take from this map in particular. And
Play it.
and
Play.
and then this is, you know,
He actually did go up to 70 from like one slam hole.
Oh man.
and then yeah, we just get slowly picked off and we're late to the party essentially. Right. So now,
I think why
now-
I'm here,
now we just keep an eye on ult economy, and they've got loads. They're gonna have
And the-
6 ults pretty much.
Oh, she
reason
she
why-
she not trans, she EMP'd her, I'm pretty sure. Like, she not like, we don't know what to do, we have no...
We've got nothing.
Oh yeah, this is a big boy.
That was big.
That was really good coordination by the ball there as well.
Okay, so approaching last fight, we sort of got one last hope, and that is we charge the Grav.
Apagando las luces.
Got fucking melted there by that Zen. It was ridiculous. I think he just like hit like all right clicks on my head.
Yeah, so I just like,
Oh yeah, it was already lost that. But...
yeah, it's already lost anyway.
Yeah, but the thought was good.
I'm not gonna do. Okay, so
I won't do too much on this map. This map was just
yeah.
horrendous.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Right, so I just wanted to just go to this map just because of the choice of comp. We still got this Anna Zen, having already worked out that that did not go down very well previous map. And we were forced to switch early, and I think.
I was trying to tell Spartan to go Brute again, but I can't remember what.
Yeah, I don't think we never switched. Anyway, yeah, we get bodied. Just because like A, it's a comp we're not comfortable with. B, I'm playing and you're not used to playing with me in scrims because I don't play very often. And C, C, what was C? Was there a C? No. C is just the comp isn't that great anyway. So again, we need to. This is like a team thing. Like we need, as a team, we need to sort of work out what comps work for us and when we should use those comps, what maps, what archetypes our opponents are liking to play. Anyway, that was all I wanted to say for Busan. I mean, 6 minutes 38 seconds tells you everything you need to know, really.
Yep.
Again, we've got. So, I don't stay on the ball here, I do switch to the right, but. The reason I'm on ball now, and the reason I switch is because I think they're going to have the Sombra again.
We swapped Overwatch, we swap over, you go Sigma and I go.
No, I go Ryan, you stay Sig. I'll
No.
watch this. You go Hog.
You go Sigma, I'm pretty sure.
2, 1.
Wait, what?
Defend objective A.
Oh no, I went Sigma. What? I do not remember this.
And yeah, so we lose proxy early on here in a Tracer 1v1. And then we lose another one early on. There's no one on the high ground, and we're just sort of waiting. We're all just sort of waiting. Ball comes round, and then the Tracer gets to the back line, and we get taken out. Right?
How did Spartan get picked there?
Huh?
Where was Spartan when he got picked?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
Because he got picked by the Ash. And there he is, still alive. Okay. What? There he got picked?
Right, where is the Ash?
Oh, alright.
So this is actually a really good place to sit if you're, especially if you're gonna have a Mercy Pocket up there. Like,
Yeah, really see. Oh,
humongous place to sit, and you're gonna massive thing.
Kind of fortunate because we didn't know are expecting normally Ash sitting there, so she.
Yeah, and then we try and disengage, and we die. And then Proxy gets picked again because of their Tracer.
What do you mean with that? It sound like I'm.
No, I watched that Tracer, that's just lucky.
Yeah, you come out of spawn, you get picked early, you come out of spawn early, and then the Tracer just happens to be there trying to kill me and sees you, essentially, is what happened there. Right, we're going round again. This time we do have the Zen Brig, but
we had this lost flanker from
we
that
take
side,
we
but
take the high
no
ground.
damage.
We get one, we lose one, and we lose a few more. And then we just...
Yeah, remember we got at least 2 picks. It's something. Maybe that one got
Oh wait, don't watch this.
That's stagger.
Yeah,
They staggered me hard. They staggered me hard down.
if you try it, like, I mean, there's not much point staying on point or trying to die on point because they can just let you stay there as long as they're on point as well. So just keep dealing damage or just walk away. The moment you try and walk back to spawn, they'll kill you. So. So yeah, let's just pulse bomb. Again, this comes down to ult economy, right? Anyway, we get the ball.
Pretty sure you got rest, didn't you?
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. We switch to the Widow, we're just trying different things here. Their ball is just...
What do you do? Where's peeking? Makes me nervous.
I mean, yeah, he's in the middle here.
I mean, it doesn't seem to be a problem. Oh no, oh, that's me, not Spartan. Then me? What the? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, so...
I mean, when they have got a boosted Ash, it's
We have a Rhine in here on his own. Half the team's still at spawn. I know I'm the Rhine, so that is me being bad at the game.
Wait, how does me actually survive that long? I mean, you've got a Hammond right above them.
Right,
He's
okay.
getting totally separate there, and then well, damage boosted Ash too. Yeah, could focus me pretty good.
Right, so I'm in here. Me is over there. Spartan is just in the middle here.
Oh, that's a pretty good shot.
Gets taken out.
60 seconds remaining.
And I'm still pushing in.
Ooh, actually, me does a lot of damage.
Like a madman.
Poor Hella.
Oh, this is a big fix. Watch the feed here though. This is actually massive.
Hello, where are you looking at?
Wait.
Yeah, literally 2 ults coming in. Just don't look at it.
Right, looks like I'm in now. Although, is
This
it
big
work?
feed though. Boom.
Yeah, you get 2. I don't know what that. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what that rock was, but we won't talk about it. Yeah. Anyway, you get 2. So like, and they're both supports, and I'm screaming both supports are down. Like go, go, go. So like Spartan and me are just going in ham.
Yeah, I just saw the signal coming in. I thought that's maybe one of the few chances we have because we only got like 40 seconds. On
Yeah,
the,
but we
countdown.
come in as a trickle. Like if we just
Yeah.
waited, like I'm screaming sports down, go, go. Spartan therefore goes, gets taken out. I get like low, forced back, and by the time we're a team again, they're a team again. So anyway, this was just more of the same. Ult economy was terrible, and that's not because you were bad at ult economy. That was because you made switches and you just didn't get any damage all game. Anyway, the more important one I want to actually watch is the one that's more even.
Entering. Ready for battle.
So this
Just checking, can you hear me or not?
we can, but it's like crackly as hell.
Okay.
Attackers incoming in 30
I can
seconds.
live with this. Yeah. I mean, also that map, we had Tavillas again main tank, making a lot of calls, and having a full six back there.
Yeah, you had your team,
5, 4, 3.
and again,
Alright, let's see if that works.
your comp
Defend objective.
Oh,
Your comp
Willis,
is something.
You sound scruffed. Scuffed.
Your comp's good. Your comp's good. I mean, I would see the Lucio. I mean, you gain a lot from having the Zen. Don't get me wrong. But the Lucio is just good for like getting you to the engagement. So you do a really nice sort of roll and sort of round to point. Meanwhile, Toots is in the back line, ready to engage, which is nice. You jump down here, and then you get a pick. You get the pick. You get the Reaper, and then you go in. You get the Rhine, and it's all going very nicely. Okay, so that was really good. Really nice.
Yeah, but if that snipers would have gone differently, because we were kind of separate many times. I don't know if you noticed it. But
Okay, so this is
what kind of shot was that?
we're not going to talk about this
We
too.
don't have the speed to support that.
Me shouldn't be stood where she is there.
Yeah.
That's
So there's quite a few things wrong here. So the Reaper, like, so your Rhine is there. Me actually gets out of this, I think. Me goes through here and actually escapes.
probably, yeah.
But
She'll be there, though. She'll be at the back.
what I wanna bring attention to in particular is sort of like the alt economy as opposed to previous game, right? Their Rhine has got shatter. Their
Willis wasn't far off on the shatter.
no, I'm not worried about that. I'm just more like saying like Willis will probably have a shatter after swinging a few times here, but the thing is, right? By Willis doing that charge here, it actually distracted them long enough for you to cap point.
True.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't think we even knew how we kept point there.
yeah, so you cap point because the distraction paid off, right? So.
Willis, your
my-
mic is questionable.
I'm sorry, it's because I'm in the down. I told you my connection was shit.
Oh, you can. Oh, yeah. It does sound shit. I will not.
I'll type in.
I can't. I can barely understand you.
Right. No, but again, at the beginning, if the enemy team would have gone, I don't know, something like Ashes though, they would have sniped like half of the team by the time we were walking to the point, because we had the first jump from the balcony down, where half the team was sitting up there and dropping pretty slow while.
I mean, that's okay because you've got the high ground at this point. Like if you'd seen an Ash on the high ground, like up here in the arches or something, then like in fact there's no there's only one one space. If there's an Ash here, then I would probably have like jumped down and gone through and then out of this door and out of this door. But again, this is all just rotations. I'm not too.
Oh, I don't see where you're pointing. I don't see it.
Oh, you can't see my cursor. Sorry.
No.
So up up here, there's a
I
window.
still don't see it.
If there's an Ash there, then staying up here is bad because you're below the Ash. However, if the Ash is in the archway, you're okay staying up here because you're at the high ground. Does that make sense? It's not, or here. Like if there's an Ash here, obviously, like.
Still don't see what you're pointing.
An
Can
Ash.
you maybe just stream your screen instead of the game itself?
I am
I don't
streaming
think we
my.
need to
I am
sound.
streaming my screen. Hang on a second. Let me just.
Is it a thing?
I need to.
Not like some tools to get pen out.
I got a pen out.
No, that's the point. Like, is there not like a tool in edit in this thing to
Oh,
put
I
a
don't
pen?
think so.
No.
No.
Oh.
No.
Ah,
Unfortunately.
Oh, I can make the ink visible and not.
Don't worry about it.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Ah!
But
Let me just move to a better point. Okay. Let me do it this way. So if you're up here, right? The only place where an ash could be that's gonna be like worse for you up here is if the ash is up here, because they'll have the high.
Could you maybe just like get the time back to the moment where we dropped there?
Yeah.
It's still bad, isn't it?
No, it's better.
That's better.
That's good.
Right, so what I've had to do is I've had to disconnect my headset from the MacBook because it looks like there's a bit of conflict in software. What I wanted to say before was, as we dropped, I called that they didn't have any range. And that's why, like, we kind of danced for a couple of seconds down there while we were, like, working out what to do, and then we started to pepper.
That's true. I think if they would have had range, we would have maybe played a bit more sticky together.
So yeah, that is a huge call there. If you're calling no range, like you've depicted that, like not even they haven't really got range support either.
Still,
Yeah, the guy who was popping off on Zen wasn't playing Zen anymore, and the guy who was popping off on the Sombra Tracer really wasn't playing. It was a much fairer game, but that was their range. Oh no, he was playing Ash as well. The two guys who played range both got subbed out. Funnily, it actually works out quite well.
Okay, I mean, but well, yeah, actually.
He probably would. I think he probably would have picked like an Ash, the other guy, and the other guy would have gotten Zen 100%.
Okay.
But yeah, big call. Big call.
Anyway, you saw the weakness, and yeah, like
You see that Jamal was sitting, dropping, and we're all like chilling, vibing, taking a long time.
I mean,
that's true
you
because
didn't
of the
take
short
too
range
long
they have.
there. Like honestly, like
Okay.
I mean,
Like,
even
Jamal's
on
I
half
think he was
speed.
calling it.
Also, I was gonna say like the two that you want to drop down here is the Zarya and the Rhine. Like everyone else can sort of stay up top. You're all ranged. You've got Anna, Zen, Hanzo, and your tracers over here anyway.
True. I mean, they only have like Lucio going for this.
Sorry, your tracers over here anyway. So the only two you really want to drop down here is the tanks, and the tanks
Yeah,
can.
in the Sombra, we in Sombra were having a little tangle over there on the main choke.
Yeah, but while you were doing that, the Sombra wasn't hacking the Rhine, which was
No, if you
crucial.
focus on the Sombra now, like just press F3. And then just press play, like see how this Sombra plays. Is after if you speed up a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to normal. It's not this part. It's when the actual when you lot jump down. It's like this is all. Look at these.
Oh, playing good.
It was when I saw that a second ago. It was proper stressing me out. I was like, I don't believe it.
Feeling much better.
Really, I'm going for that. Oh, that tracking, the hell.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Nowhere near as yeah. It was weird Sombra play.
yeah, so not great. You lose your Anna. So that's one thing. Like, but you managed to take point here. Anyway. So you get point, and this is the point where I want to point something out. Right, you lose your Rhine here. Okay.
Oh, me does get out, yeah. Surprising.
Me does get out.
But I don't know how though.
I mean the distraction from the Rhine. They were like so focused on the
Yeah.
Rhine. Right. Okay. Now this is important. Okay. And this is why you got held up here so long. Okay. You should know that their Rhine is gonna be on Shatter or at least close to it, just based on your own Rhine's charge, right? Like, especially this is something for you to be more aware of. Willis. It's like comparing how much damage you think you're getting compared to how much the enemy Rhine is getting, and sort of working out whether he's doing more or less damage than you, and then that way you can determine whether he's charging his shatters quicker or slower than you.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
I didn't know that actually that the Rhine had shatters, to be honest.
This is my point, right? So your Rhine is coming back from spawn somewhere down here. They have a Rhine with shatter. They have all 6, and they're holding this choke. Okay, and if you just watch what happens.
But yeah, we're going in without a shield. So.
You're going in without a shield. You've got no blocks for shatter, and that's 1, 2, 3,
4. You can
4.
see the you can see the stars on the face on the top right. Who's stunned?
Yeah.
Sparkle.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Stars, yeah.
4, and the only ones that aren't stunned are Tracer and Ryan, who's still coming back from spawn. Okay, Nos is just gonna die here because too far forward, and everyone and your supports are stunned, so can't help you. And the one person that would be able to bubble you is the person who's stunned. So, yeah, so you're just gonna die here and you lose the fight. But your ults, right? If you just, took a minute, waited for your Rhine, being aware that they have shatter, or play more like here and here, like half of you here, half of you here, and just sort of push the cart to where it is. And by that point, your Rhine will be here. Then you can just sort of nano Rhine and then shatter, and then you've got pulse bomb if you need it. You can save the dragon for the Zarya ult, right?
Yeah, but it's
Which is what you did later on. And then you've got a trance. Now, this is the sort of thing. This is a counter, okay? This is something that sort of you play to counter an opposition's ult. That's what you want to use it. So what is it most useful for? Out of all of these ults, which one would you want to save trance for?
Well, from the enemy team.
Veton Surge is ready.
from the Zarya graph.
Zarya Grav is a big one.
I mean,
But
if you're pretty good, maybe the Sombra, but that's a tricky one.
Well,
I would say the Sombra is more important than the Grav. And here's my point. They have nothing to combo with the Grav, apart from maybe a Coalescence.
No, they'd combo the Sombra and the Grav, let's be honest here.
Yeah, so it makes it even more important that you save it for this. And if you're playing around like the Sombra and you think the Sombra's got EMP, again, play in 2 groups of 3, spread out. That way they can only EMP 1. Or if you are the Zed and you want to counter the EMP, you want to play maybe here. Like if your team's playing here, you
Don't
can.
know where you point. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can see the.
No, you just like try and like just say like where's here.
So
I feel
where
like
I'm
this
drawing
is
now.
green.
You're not drawing anything, mate.
Can't see that, man.
You can't see any of the drawings.
No.
No.
Oh.
Are you drawing like in the
Can't see.
on main point? Just from the square and main point for the telephone box. Whereabouts is it? Where are you trying to draw?
Okay, so
Are you sure
none of
that
my
it's going
annotate. You can't
green?
see any of my annotations.
No.
No.
Oh.
Oh, hang on a
You're on
second.
it then?
Hang on a second. Let me.
I mentioned that way earlier, dude.
We did mention that a while ago, yeah.
Let me try something else.
There was a moment where you said like from here to here, and I genuinely just thought it was me that was not seeing it. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep quiet.
I gave up because I thought you're making it just for the record, for the recording you were making.
All right.
So I gave up too, to be honest.
No, that's the wrong screen. Is that better?
Yeah. Why?
Right.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Oh no, yeah.
Right, you can see annotations now. That's good.
Annotation. That looks like shit.
So that'll be why you can't see anything I've been doing. Well, that's gonna be awkward. I mean, you can see it on the replay.
Yeah.
But essentially, yeah, you want your Zen here, ready to like use trans for the EMP. You want to wait for your Rhine to be in front, because especially if you're aware that they may have shatter. Even if you're not 100% sure, like, even if it's conservative, like, oh, our Rhine's at 90% shatter and we're winning, the chance of them having shatter, it's possible. You should play around that, because if they do, this is what happens, right? You've got this great ult economy, but they with one ult.
I think we didn't really saw that hard that they gotta have shadow because we were in this winning mood because
Yeah, you just won the
we had
fight.
a really good fight there. It was looking really good, so we thought, yeah, their Ryan probably doesn't have that much shadow because we weren't maybe.
I had it
positioned to
in
be
the
like-
back of my head that their Rhine would be close to my charge, but that I didn't know about like any big fire strikes that they got early on. Because like I think if you
Yeah.
look before that fight, the Rhine actually gets to their shatter way before I do, because of like one or two big fire strikes that I didn't know what happened.
I think you had like 70 when he had his ready. Surprised me out.
Yeah, so they win a fight with shatter, just the one ult. Okay, now the only other ult that they're beating you on is the grab. That's another thing to maybe be aware of here, is that like you're gonna have 4 ults. And had you waited,
I'll then I'll meet that.
and then yeah, this becomes sort of like a stagger.
Technically, we had only 3 because the Hanzo orders. Well, we waited for the graph, so it's like not existing in that case. It would be kind of waste if we would do there's somewhere waiting for the hack.
Yeah, and you can see what's about to happen. And actually,
Oh, yeah.
Meow is exactly where I said to be. Using this sort of choke here, holding onto EMP, holding onto trans, ready for this EMP. Now, just go down to this. They then walk forward.
Oh!
Well, they walk forward, and it's a 6-man EMP.
What?
You could have just been here, and you would have been okay. They just waited a little bit. And like clumping up like this with an EMP around. Yeah, and then obviously the inevitable happens. This happens.
Hey, at least we got it. Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing you can do. So be in their position, right? You've got an ultimate disadvantage. How do you play this? You try and get the first. You try and land a really good ult first before your opponents get a chance to react with
Well, you
their
can
ults.
see what they're doing. If you like F3 again, just like see if she was actually like waiting for the Zen. If it was, I'm curious if it was like complete pot luck that the Zen was there, or if she was actually waiting.
She doesn't wait for the Zen.
No. She doesn't. It's pot luck that she hit the supports. Complete pot luck.
Now she sees one of them in the corner of the eye, but
No way. That's lucky that that's one of those things. Like that's where you like split up. Like
yeah. But my point is,
big trans there. That would have saved us probably that fight.
yeah, it would have done, but it would have forced out another ult from them. But it would have given you the opportunity to use your ults. And the other thing you said, Spartan, is like, I know that Grav Dragon is like, it's a great combo and everything. They don't have a trans to sort of counter that.
Got beat.
I mean, even Beat's not that great of a counter to Grav Dragon.
It's like, yeah, I think it's slightly. It's like it doesn't. You can still kill them through it because obviously you're still shooting them whilst the dragon's going.
Yeah,
on.
exactly. So it's not a perfect counter. Anyway, my point is this choke here in particular is really hard to push past, but it's a good defense place to defend. And while they're getting the first ult in, and you know, you guys are doing the great job of not dumping ults for no reason. But what you need to start planning is like, you need to be more proactive with your ults. In 9 fights out of 10, you're using ults in response to what they've done. Like if they use an ult, then you use an ult. Rather than, oh, we have an ult advantage, let's just nano the Rhine and go. So for example here, you could like start with just by nanoing the Rhine. That way, like, even when you get hacked, the Rhine's going to be swinging for the most part anyway. You dump in a load of support on the Rhine. Yeah, you're not going to have the bubbles maybe, but that's, you know, fair enough. But you're still going to be able to, you're still going to push them back, right? And they're not going to be able to get as much value from the EMP. The other thing, and then obviously you've got the shatter as well. So you nano Rhine, you try and get a shatter, you move, you carry on going. The other thing I'd like to say, as I said about the dragon here, is actually, Proxy, you were charging your dragon strike at 50, but you were charging yours by the time Nostalgia was getting to 50% on grav, so you could have used it, especially through this choke. Your dragon,
I was tempted.
your dragon through this choke would have been worthwhile because it would have forced them back, allowing you to get through this choke, which is like huge. Like if you get through this choke, it's much harder for them to defend, right? This is like crucial defensive point.
I remember the situation where the enemy Ryan had a shadow ready, and I saw that, well, we didn't have a Ryan there on the front line, so I was getting a bit anxious, and I was like, that's maybe worth a shot for a Dragon Ult, because then we would have at least enough space until Javalis comes back, and we have also the DPS there to maybe use it a bit. But I thought the last times I was thinking like that, we didn't have a Dragon Ult for the graph, and we couldn't gain that much out of the graph like we wanted to, because the enemies were pretty good at countering that, at least with a beat or something. And also, I was getting caught out every time I used it before.
The other thing I wanted to mention is, if you watch here, right, their Rhine feeds just charges in trying to get kills.
It was really funny.
Oh, that was really funny. I remember that happening as well. Yeah.
And this is the difference between them and you. When they lose their Rhine and they know you have shatter, you know, they try and go for these picks. They get the one, but then look, watch their team. They come back. You coming out is a 6. They just try and get a bit of poke. They come back. They go behind the wall. They keep going back. They go all the way back. They go back to corner. And they give you this chokehold. You see the difference? They don't have a Rhine to block your shatter. And they're just playing defensively. They're just giving you space because they don't want to lose another fight and give you even more space, right? They're just gonna like try and charge ults, like, but the Lucio, Moira, Reaper, and Zarya, all these 4 already have their ults, so they don't need to charge their ults. So they're just sort of gonna just poke a bit of damage and wait for their Rhine, and then now they have their Rhine. They've got 2, you know, they've got the they've got this corner, and they can even push up to this corner, but because they gave you choke, they have they're gonna have this corner. Otherwise, you know, you would have got a 3 or a 4 man shatter at least without their Rhine to block it. So that's just the difference between them and you, and you know. And here you do really, really well. It's like 50%. So here you do well. You do the Grav Dragon, you win the fight. Huge, nice. The only thing I would say about this in particular was, sorry if I just dropped this out.
I'd slow this one down because it's a cluster of animations.
Yes, it is exactly. Two things happen here. That's okay. So if we watch this, right?
Огонь по готовности.
There's the grav. Instant reaction should be trans.
I think
You know that you know they don't have EMP because they used it last fight.
Yeah, I think me waited a moment because she's focusing on how the health is going, so she can stagger her a little bit longer. So after the grab, we still have the chance to push a bit against the force they're making.
Yeah,
And,
just watch me.
I mean, you see
Going
all
further
my
and
health.
further away.
Yeah, okay, that's strange. Yeah. Okay, I'm taking it back. Oh, well,
Disappeared off
actually-
the screen.
Yeah, Willis would have been alive there.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I take it back.
Willis dies.
Огонь по готовности.
I take it back. All right.
Then their trans comes in after nostalgia grabs. I mean, you do win the fight, so it's not the end of the world, right? It's still a good.
We just debated them. All right.
It's still a good trans. You get the grav dragon through. And now me goes on a
She was
mission.
on the wrong line though there. She was literally like stood next to. Yeah. She should have been here. Like earlier.
I mean,
'Cause
you,
I was-
you were getting like.
Because these two weren't in the grab, they just walked out and followed me instead.
Yeah,
no,
but at
yeah.
the end of the day, that would be like a 3-for-1 trade, so that's okay. And you
Well, like, maybe it's
Yeah,
like-
but still.
and you've got the trace, and you've got the sombra. So it's literally just these two left. So even if you die here, it's not the end
That
of
was
the
the
world.
pick, I got that pick before the before I grab, yeah. But like, wait, just play it on. Like, watch this fucking massive nade from Spartan come in. It's absolutely humongous.
Oh no, it is.
Oh yeah.
But look just like the Zen goes in and just straight into a Reaper point blank range.
It's
Like,
Oh my
now comes
God,
something
could that be any closer?
interesting.
Oh.
Like you see, there's a kill between the two nades. Like what the? Fuck?
I know it's
that shouldn't. Yeah, me should not have died there.
Like,
Let's
oh,
put-
watch
you,
out
you can,
for the
you can
range
skip on ahead
from
though.
front
You already
tab,
know
yeah.
that.
yeah. Let me
That's
just.
just a little mistake.
Well,
I mean, me
you-
is learning Zen, so let's be fair here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just a little
So,
mistake. It's
Yeah,
not a big deal.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I wanted to check was F7.
Spartan's got to nade. Let's
Hi,
watch
me,
this
by
in
the way.
first. Let's watch this in first person. Please, God, I have to see this.
Do you see?
Escorting the payload.
My warrior
I'm
spirit
unyielding.
burns.
That's a miss and a half. Oh no, he hits the Reaper, I
Unlucky.
guess, by accident.
Double kill.
Yeah, and
I guess that's how he kills the Reaper, because he hits him.
yeah.
And nothing is alive anymore. Okay, but me, your trance goes at full power even on the outer rim of your ult,
Get in
so
there.
don't go too near to the players, especially when your ult is.
Yeah,
about to be-
there's no healing tail off in your trans. As long as they're within the radius, they get the healing.
Yeah, so you don't need like.
I can't
stand
believe
right
himself.
above them.
He stood still because he can't believe he just hit that.
Even though you can, I think,
Suck it
counter
yourself.
some damage just with your body between when you're transing.
Yeah,
It
you're
can be a good
you're
try.
immortal. Like going in there was absolutely fine. It's just they needed something to follow up, like either like nostalgia going in there with a bubble or Spartan having nade off cooldown so he could send it in earlier, but it wasn't. That was the one thing I was checking. Could it have been a bit of a faster reaction time? No, it couldn't have. And here's a point I wanted to make as well. Like you've won the fight, you know, you can try and take a bit more space here.
Oh, we didn't want to because we didn't have the. Did we have the? No, we didn't have the Ryan there. We were only 3 people and we were anxious and especially we were anxious because there was such a high SR team
Yeah, you just
comparison to us. So we really didn't want it to take a fight like 3v4 or so. And
But,
after draws came in, then we were like, okay, let's go in, but still.
Anyway, here, again, you're not reactive. Like you. This is another really good fight by you. They have.
When did Spartan use his ult?
They have beat. Yeah, so that's the other thing I wanted to say, right? You've had this for like since you've charged it the first time. Neither of them have played it once yet, which is why I went back to like the first point and say you could have just nanoed Ryan and just gone for it here. You've got ult economy advantage. You can dump ults, and if it doesn't work, you're not at a disadvantage, and you're gonna charge your crab dragon and be ready for it. So yeah, that was the point back there. So by now you probably would have charged them up again. In fact, you can use this Ryan as a judgment on that, because you know they're reasonably close in charge. So yeah. Yeah, so you trade here. Anyway, this is where you do commit the. That's a nice block. Okay, you come back a little bit, and now you push in, and you use 2 ults, and then you clean up, and it's a very good usage of ults. And you kill the Lucio before the beat, which is huge. Maybe a mistake from them not using beat there. But you pressed Q at the same time, like you high nooned, you nanoed at the same time, and it sort of didn't really give them much chance to react. So yeah, again, this is good positioning from you, Proxy. I like being up there. I would have liked to see that N orb on you a bit earlier, so you can be up there and stay up there. But this again, so this is just sort of the neutral fight. No one's actually.
There die.
Huh?
There die.
This is the.
No. You're like, I'm like almost dead, and this beam is on me.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you die here, but this is the neutral fight. Okay. Ryan is low as heck. And you know, Willis is gonna be like trying to get this kill, so does get it and immediately shatters. Huge shatter. Huge shatter. Questionable charge. That is what I would say here.
Yeah.
And I don't think you need me to say it. I think you already knew that.
Oh yeah.
It's yeah, like you got a group of them. You just swing your hammer. Like you can try and fire strike through if you've got it on cooldown. I'm not sure if you do actually.
I think it was gone at this point. I think I just fired it before, but even so.
I mean, that's the other thing is, like the Ryan's dead, right? They're not gonna have a shield for a while. You don't need to slam straight away. You can wait for your fire strike to come off cooldown, just so you can finish these kills off. But the other thing you can bear in mind is you've got like a McCree here who can just shoot heads from here. Like they're stunned, they're not moving. Can shoot heads. And you got a Zarya that can right click. That's the other thing I would say. This beam's out of range, but right clicks with the Rhine swing, that should probably get like 1 or 2 kills. And instead, your charge yeets.
We've got a traitor.
I had an adrenaline move. What can I say?
Actually saves them. So you do this absolute monster shatter, and then you're just like, nah, I'm gonna move you out of the way to safety. Don't worry, guys. I got you.
Oh my god.
I don't even get the damn kill on the Zarya. That's the worst of it.
No,
like, I commit into it, and all I do is regroup them and then give her heals.
Yeah, essentially. No. I'm recording. I'll cut that off and post.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. That's an you know, like same thing I was saying about me. That's just an unlucky mistake. Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
like,
the whole point of these VOD reviews, so we can look at them when we're not like
That's one of those in the moments, like let's say,
Upset
like,
in the moment, yeah, big shout. So this is the one thing, like, when I started,
I would agree.
this is like, I know this is like trivial, but like the habit of reloading your gun when you're like not in a fight, but you've got like no ammo left. I didn't have that habit to start with, right? Kyle was like, "Oh, why don't you reload, you moron?" And I basically had to mentally think about reloading for like a long while before it becomes sort of instinct, and I don't have to think about it anymore. I just press the button. It's the same thing with.
Oh yeah, that actually stressed me out so much. How you're like on soldier and you've got like 5 ammo and you're just not reloading, even though you're like nowhere near someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my.
Exactly. That wasn't a habit. I had to physically been told that and think about it. Now, like that's the thing with Rhine shatters and charging. Like if you work on making it habit to shatter swing or shatter fire strike swing, and you literally mentally think about that every time you shatter, that's what I want you to physically think about. Eventually, it'll become second nature, and you don't do this like adrenaline rush charge.
The reason why it charges is probably because you get a juicy pick if it works, because the nice Zarya pick which has.
Yeah, but you could have got
getting-
three. You could have got 3 picks. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. But not only that, if your teammates try to get those laying on the ground, normally there can the chances high that some damage there is missing, and when you get like 2 swings, it makes 150 damage. That's so much, and your team is helping you. Don't underestimate that. Never.
Didn't Ryan get buffed as
Then
well, or am I going
juicy
yeah,
mad?
but not for this scrim, but yeah, it has now.
Yeah. So
Oh,
live
God.
now, or is it experimental?
Live.
It's live.
It's
live.
live. That right buff is live.
Yeah.
That is huge reaction times though. Even at like 0.25 seconds. Look at this. Like as soon as that Rhine dies, even at 0.25,
This will restore you.
dead. Q is pressed. Monstrous reaction time there.
But
just
damn,
say-
the Mora.
Right. I was about to say like monstrous reaction time by the Moira. That's even that's even better than Willis's shatter time. That's ridiculous.
Wait, which?
Right. If you go like just rewind 20 seconds, you can see
It fades out, is that right? I wasn't.
like the Moira fades out. Like you don't. Why are you just pressing the -26? Like just.
I think the Mora was like, okay, our run's getting really low. I can't probably heal there. I'm like waiting for the enemy shadow coming in. I think he
Like,
really knew
look
that.
at that. I
that's
don't know
what's
how
coming.
she got out of that like that, but that is some.
I mean, you can really dodge it when you.
Wait. Where's?
It looks like she should have been shattered.
No, she was bubbled.
No.
Let's watch from Willis's perspective.
What?
Get in there.
No, she was not.
No.
Oh no, the clip.
Zoom out. It's like
Yeah.
express speed. Nah.
She wasn't.
Just like
Look at the crackles going towards her. Look at that.
if you go Moira's perspective, go to the Moira's perspective again.
So bear in mind, it's the waves in front of her.
She's pressed it. She's pressed it. She literally presses it just before it hits.
Yeah.
Holy
It's outrageous timing.
hacks.
Now I really think that she saw that Ryan isn't. She isn't able to heal the Ryan, and she probably knew about Javala's ult.
Nice.
So she really raised
That's
for those
fucking-
coming in, and then it's really possible to get out of the shadow in time. I used to make the many times smaller too, but only
Yeah.
if I really knew that it was coming in.
That I play by the Moira. Literally, that is why they turned that completely around.
That
If
was
she didn't
massive.
have ult there, it wouldn't have been the same. I don't think. Like that
No,
is
no,
big
not a
play by
chance.
big play by the Moira.
Yeah, she really saved it.
Saved them big time. That's unlucky.
And Javala's.
Big play from Joe Willis, just even better play from them,
Big play-
which is unfortunate because
That is true. That is pretty much. That's the best way to word it. To be honest, big play from Willis, but even bigger play from the Moira apparently.
yeah, man,
Unbelievable timing.
it's not even right. Oh, hey Meow.
Alright.
Let's play on, boy. Play on. Speed it up.
Hello?
Duh, duh. We didn't even like full cap it. I'm pretty sure this one did we?
No, you didn't.
No, no.
I think we got
This,
health after
that's
this,
as
yeah.
far as you got, yeah. And yeah, they turn this fight with a few ults.
Massive sleep. I don't know how it hit this person. Not like. I
Yeah,
don't know how it hit the Moira and not like.
it's
Why not?
it's okay.
Yeah, if you watch my McCree play, look at my health by the way.
Fuck.
You'll see some top tier McCree if you press F12. I'm telling you right now.
Oh wow, you shot without even shooting there.
So this is how you play McCree, boys. I knew she was here, but she came around to the right. Oh no, wait, no, it was like later on. There was a hog on the right, and I think someone. I don't know if it was this game. Yeah.
But
That
I
was,
think
see, that was poor by me. I should have got her there. Thinking, yeah. That was
But what I noticed, we went way more on spy checking, or at least I tried to focus a lot with the solid arrows and spy checking. So we were by far more aware of where someone was possibly standing in comparison to the other maps.
And the other thing, like with this fight, you know, ult economy is pretty even, except your Hanzo ult is gonna be used with the Agrav, but the Agravs are only 55%. So please, if your Zaya is at 55% and you've charged, you know, you both used ult at the same time last time, please just use your ult. Like the Zaya is not gonna. It's better for the Zaya to wait for the Hanzo than the Hanzo wait for the Zaya, because the Hanzo ult's gonna come round far more often just because it charges quicker.
Okay.
So if your Zaya is at like 50% or something, just by all means, just friggin' go ham with this. Like, here you could just launch it. I mean, there's absolutely no reason not to just launch it. Like, even if you just launch it like down middle, down sort of mid here or something, just to sort of try and split them up, or even onto like cart or something.
Yeah.
Just launch it, because then when this comes in, they're gonna have to go round a dragon to get to you anyway. And again, when this comes in, this EMP, you kind of want your trans for it, but obviously you're gonna get caught up in the trans. And as soon as you're out of trans, you pop it. And then you go back in, you press W, you get counter picks, and you know, that's an absolutely perfect use of trans there. The only thing
I really loved it because we really used the trans, even though it wasn't maybe the best decision we normally had, but it turned out to be a pretty solid one in comparison to others.
Yeah, but the only thing is, and you're gonna see it now, is that like you're gonna lose in this fight anyway, and then they have the grab, and that's what they're gonna use on you next.
We also got pushed back so hard. We also had like 1 or 2 minus picks, so could have just say, okay, the fight is done, and then had a counter for the enemy grab coming in there.
Yeah. So this is another point that I really want to make, is your ult economy is gorgeous. Okay, literally the only ult you're not gonna have is the Zen. I want you to start nanoing the Rhine as an engagement, don't wait till the engage happens, because this can happen. Okay, if you wait until the engage, it gives the enemy a chance to like use one of their ults and win the fight before you get a chance. That's exactly what happens here. They get the grab, they use B to protect, and then you know they use all of their ults, and you've only used 1 ult, and they've ditched 3, and you've only used 1 ult. Like, yeah, you lost your main tank, but like, had you nanoed the Rhine, had you like dragoned and then thrown a grab into the dragon, like you can do it the other way around. You can drag and grab rather than grab dragon. Like if you predict where they're gonna run to, you can throw the dragon before the grab, and that way you can pull them into the dragon, which is quite useful. But you just didn't do any of those things. and lost another fight, and now you've only got 53 seconds on the clock. And this is your next fight. Okay, nice. Grav, dragon's coming in. This is unfortunate. You only get 2 in the Grav. Your Sombra's here. So now all your supports are worried about this Sombra, and Nostalgia's gonna get taken out. And they pop a Reaper ult. And again, you still have Nano. You still have Shatter. And you've got 12 seconds left on the clock. You need to use ults if you know it's going to be the last fight. Or the last team fight.
10 seconds.
So you end up using Nano here.
You're like way too late.
I mean, you make it work, right? You get some picks.
No, I
You get a
nothing
Shatter
on
in, you get
Nano.
you get the Shatter in, you get the Lucio, you know. You're using ults now, but like had you used them in the fight before, you might have gotten a bit further. That's all I'm gonna say here. There's not really much else to like you know how this ends, so we don't need to.
Yeah. I'm gonna come off because I know exactly. I know the exact situation on the attack. It's literally the exactly what you just said. Then
Initiating match.
they did it and we didn't. That's pretty much what the case was. Like they used ults like that in situations like that. They pushed harder when they.
I mean,
everything we should have done, they pretty much did.
the only other thing I would say is
4, 3, 2.
Meow being up here. And that we discussed it in the scrim, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But yeah, like, where the heck is everyone?
Well, because I said there's a widow, so we played around beside a hotel. I know for a fact I was saying that, but no one was. I guess we didn't do that. I mean, to be
No,
fair,
I
like,
mean-
the widow didn't really seem to do any. It didn't seem to be a problem.
They swapped off the widow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was up front, like getting the eyes up. I asked Proxy to put Echo Hour on so we could see. We saw the Widow, and then once we realized they didn't have any like TP bullshit, we basically made a call to get straight back to point. That was the call.
Yeah, and you were nice and all here, except you've left Meow stranded up on high ground. There's nothing wrong with being on this high ground. It's just you just can't leave one of your teammates stranded up there.
You'll notice me try to go over with the shield.
Yeah, you do try, but like as soon as this Sombra sees that the Zen is there on their own, that is exactly what the Sombra's doing. Straight to this Zen, and you start coming back, and yeah, you get picked, and
Too late.
you got 2 choices when someone gets picked. Try and back the fuck out, and give them ticks. Because you're about to lose your main tank here as well, because you've lost the support, and like Spartan's like, get the F out, or just die on point, and just stagger it as much as possible. Half of you did one of those 2 things, and the half of you did the other of those 2 things. Okay, one or the other is fine, both good, but half and half not so good, because you're just gonna see here that now that you guys are trying to get out, and you're just gonna, you've got no shield or tanks, and you know you're gonna get pushed all the way back to here.
Oh, there comes the backhand.
Yeah, well, I mean, like they pushed like so aggressively here.
They did, yeah, they did, but
Yeah.
that's because like there were
They had
3
the
of you.
they had the Lucio, high charge. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the speed difference like of the Lucio brings. But like in a brawl comp, like I actually don't dislike the Ana Lucio pick because of the trans, particularly the trans, and what it gives you. But on defense, in particular, you need to be able to get out. So on defense, I would probably favor the Lucio over the Zen. But on attack, the Zen is a good pick, I think. Especially for you guys, but that's the only thing I want to say on the defense is like, you either all have to die on point, and then get respawn and group up again that way, or you all need to get the F out. You can't do half and half. Like
everything we didn't do an attack. I mean, it's pretty much what they did. So
yeah, exactly.
we know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it. I wanted to use this King's Row map because there was so much in here that you did that was like
The much closer
astounding,
game.
like really, really, really good, and especially if you compare it to like the 2 maps prior, right? Insane, but yeah, really good job, guys. Well done, and I hope that's given you at least something to look at for future games.
Swing more hammer. Ugh.
Left click M1.